So earlier this week, the channel hit over 100 subscribers, and I'm pumped about it. I think it's somewhere around 130 subscribers as of the making of this video, but it's just so cool for me to see people out there with similar interests give me really good feedback about the channel. And my ultimate goal is to hit 1,000 subscribers, but I got a long way to go yet, so if you want to help me out at all, you can share the channel or the videos, like the videos, and if you're new to the channel, subscribe because it helps me out a lot. But the channel's doing really well so far, so I just want to say thanks to everyone who subscribed so far. It's really cool to hear your feedback in the videos, but if I hit 500 subscribers, I'll get a community tab where I can actually make posts and have a better chance to interact with you, and even get your feedback on certain things before I create them as well. So if you want to stick around, I'm going to give you a behind the scenes look at the channel about some things you might not know about and why I started it in the first place, as well as give you some news and updates about things like the paddle controllers for the Atari Flashback Gold 50th Anniversary mini console. And I'm going to tell you a bit about myself too, because I realize that the viewers don't really know much about me specifically. One thing that really surprised me was that the first video I made was about the Atari Flashback Gold 50th Anniversary Edition unboxing and review. And when I learned how to make this YouTube channel in the first place, I kept hearing that your first video will just bomb and it'll do horrible. But that's not the case with me. This video just took off and just did excellent. And it's got over 3,000 views now, and I think that's just amazing and totally unexpected. But I've learned that there's a huge Atari fan base on YouTube looking for this content, so I have some more Atari content coming your way, I promise. People have reached out to me and said that that video was really helpful because they weren't sure if they wanted to buy it or not, especially after finding out that the paddle controllers don't work with the console really well. And it's actually the firmware that doesn't work on the console itself. The paddle controllers are fine. And the reason I know this is that a big YouTube channel called Gen X Grown Up commented on my paddle update video, and what he found out is that the firmware on the console itself isn't interpreting the data from the paddle controllers correctly. So in my Atari Flashback video, when I was turning the paddle controllers to the right, on the screen it would slow down, and that's because the console can't interpret the data from the paddles correctly, unfortunately. So I just want to say thanks to Gen X Grown Up for mentioning my channel, because he's a big YouTuber and it gave my channel some attention, so I appreciate that. But also the fact that he got to the root cause of the issue and that the paddle controllers are fine, it's just the console itself, is really helpful to people. So I've been letting people know about that since, and it's unfortunate, but at least we know what the problem is, so it's not a hit or miss thing when you receive the paddles. But he actually reached out to his contact at AtGames to see if he can get any information on if they're going to fix the firmware going forward. But it's just unfortunate that on the 50th anniversary the paddle controllers don't work right with the console. So I got a comment on my video on if I'm a shill or if I'm shilling, which means am I sponsored or am I gushing about the products to try to sell them? And I can tell you that's not the case at all. My videos are not sponsored whatsoever. And if I ever do get a sponsor or a brand deal from someone, I'll tell them straight up. I'm still going to give my honest opinion because that's the most important thing for the people watching. They want to know what's good about the product and what's bad about the product, because they ultimately have to make a decision on if they want to buy it or not. And trust me, I know a lot of people are really disappointed in the Space Invaders port on the Atari Flashback Gold 50th Anniversary Edition. It's not the original Space Invaders, and I know that can be really frustrating because Space Invaders was amazing when it first came out. People are really passionate about that game. So why they put a weird port on there, I have no idea, but it is unfortunate, and I hear you. I know you're disappointed, and it is kind of weird that they did that. And another thing that's driving people crazy, which I perfectly understand, is that there's a switch missing on the Atari Flashback Gold and the Atari Flashback X. It's the black and white switch, so you can see that there's 2 on this side and 3 switches on this side. It's because that switch is missing. But one thing I've been thinking about, which I thought was kind of cool, was that even though it's missing the black and white switch, if you look at the console, you'll see that there's 2 switches on one side and 3 on the other. So half the console looks like the classic 4-switch Atari 2600, and the other half looks like the original 6-switch Atari 2600, so you kind of get the look of both in one console. And I know me pointing that out isn't really going to help a lot of people out there. They're still going to be disappointed that the black and white switch is missing, but hey, I understand. I love to play the games that way too, and to have it there because it was a part of the original, and the point of these mini consoles is to replicate the original consoles, and you'd have the original 6 switches as well, which would be cool. But again, I don't know why they didn't put it on there, but that would be awesome. So besides the Atari mini-series of videos, the next video I made that was really successful was the arcade machine video on how I built it when I was broke. And people have been really digging it, and I got a lot of subscribers from that too. So I got more arcade content coming your way. And I made a second video now of me taking it apart so that you can see how simple it is inside. You can make the build easy on yourself if you want to. And I've been testing out some other content that has been doing pretty well, such as the Sega Genesis Mini, so I'm going to get some more content out about mini consoles as well. So the reason I started the YouTube channel in the first place was that I was a little bit frustrated trying to figure out how to map my 6-button Sega Genesis controller to the mini console when I installed RetroArch and added some games to it. So I just wanted to make a video that would help people out and understand how to do it themselves after I did it, because it was a bit of a frustrating process. And I also put up some GoldenEye videos because I'm a huge fan of that game, and I gave some walkthroughs about the hardest levels in the game, and I created some art in the game using the paintball mode and stuff like that, but those videos never really got much traction, and I don't think that's what my audience is really interested in, so I'm going to stray away from those going forward. But before I tell you about the future of this channel, I just thought I'd tell you a little bit about myself, because someone commented on one of my videos and asked if I immigrated from Ireland to USA or Canada, and they were kind of close, but I'm actually from Newfoundland, Canada, which is an island in the Atlantic Ocean. So if you don't know where Newfoundland is, here it is on a map, but if you look it up, you'll see it's called Newfoundland and Labrador because they got two provinces put together, but I'm from the island. And we do have Irish roots here, so our accent does stem from that. So if you hear me talking and you're picking up on a bit of Irish, then you're right, that is where it's from. But it's kind of a unique accent because we have history from all kinds of places in Europe, such as Britain and places like that. So it's kind of cool to be from an island of just 500,000 people that got a unique accent. But trust me, there's way thicker accents here than what I got. There's some people out there that'll talk and won't have a clue what they're saying. But there's really awesome culture here between music and art and everything. And if you ever want to visit Newfoundland, I'd highly recommend it, especially in the summer. It's just beautiful here. And it's actually kind of like Ireland. The people have a lot of fun when they visit here, so I'd highly recommend it, especially if you like whales and icebergs and hiking and fun, rich culture. Definitely come check it out. And yes, the people here are really friendly, so if you come visit here, you'll have a great time. And there's something else really funny that kind of happened this week that I wanted to share, and I couldn't believe it. I went in to look at my analytics, and I just had 2 spikes in the analytics, and the way that the graph looked is, I mean, come on, tell me that does not look like a bat. It actually kind of looks like the Batpixel logo, and if I flip the logo around, you can see that it does look kind of similar, and I just thought that was like a huge coincidence. I was like, no way. So anyway, I was like, when will I ever be able to share that again? It was just so weird. It kind of struck me for a second. I was like, yeah, I gotta share this. This is kind of funny. Like, it does kind of look like a bat. But I had to dig in and find out, like, why did this happen? What happened was there was 2 videos that were YouTube Shorts. So the way YouTube Shorts work is if you put a video up that's under 60 seconds long, it'll go on the front page of YouTube and it'll get a lot of views for a very short amount of time, and YouTube will take it off the front page and the views will just flatline. So I had one short about GoldenEye, and I was making fun of the random chair that explodes in the game. It's kind of like The Simpsons, where The Simpsons has random explosions of things that doesn't make any sense. And the second short I put up was how to enhance your Atari setup by putting controller extenders on your controllers so you can reach your couch from your TV, which is what I had to do. So it was just 2 videos that just so happened to spike twice at the perfect distance to make the graph look like that, but it was just at a weird time where I was planning on showing people behind the scenes stuff with the channel, so I don't know, it was just kind of funny. I had to share it. Hopefully it's a good sign, who knows. So in the future for this channel, I know you like the Atari stuff, and I got more Atari stuff on the way that I'm keeping under wraps for now, but I think you're going to really enjoy it. And also the arcade machine, I got lots more content coming from that, but I thought it might be fun to live stream the arcade sometime, maybe when I get to 500 subscribers, because I'll unlock some live stream features, but that might be fun just to play some games and interact with you guys about it. And I got some ideas about videos that I'm keeping under wraps for now, but I'm just going to put them out there, and they are about retro gaming and stuff, but they're just going to be kind of fun and unexpected. So I think people are going to like that. And I found out that there's some other people locally that are really into the arcade stuff, so I might do some collaborations with them. And in general, for retro gaming, I thought it'd be fun to just get some communication going on the channel with other people to hear about their nostalgia and their experiences with gaming growing up and stuff like that, because you never know what you might find or discover, and it's always fun just to hear about that that stuff. But the best thing that you can do is if you want to see something specific, you can let me know down in the comments, or you can like the videos that I'm posting if you want to see more of it. And also interact with me on my social media and let me know what you want to see, and I'll try to make some content around it. But yeah, it's been really fun so far. So if you haven't yet, please subscribe to the channel. And for everyone out there so far who has to get me to 100 subscribers, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And there's lots more retro game stuff coming. Take care.